Namaste students, my name is James Dr. Neeraj Bhulia, Faculty of Agriculture and Veterinary Science, Jyoti Vidyapeeth, Women's University, Jaipur. Today we are going to discuss session that is photovoltaic system. A photovoltaic system is utilized to convert the solar energy into the electricity. So it is able to supply the electric energy to a given load by directly converting the solar energy through the photovoltaic effect. So this is the structure is very flexible, and the modules are the main building blocks. These can be arranged into arrays to increase the electricity energy production, and normally additional equipment is necessary in order to transform the energy into a useful form or store energy for the future use. The resulting system will therefore be determined by the energy needs or loads in a particular application. The PV system can be broadly classified into two major groups. One is the stand-alone, and second is the grid-tied. So the stand-alone, these systems are isolated from the electric distribution grid and the most common system configuration. The system elements necessary to serve AC appliances in a common household or commercial application. An additional generator, for example, biodiesel or wind, uh, could be considered to enhance the reliability, but it is not necessary. The number of components to enhance the reliability uh, may be added, but they are not necessary. So the components that will be depend on type of load that is being served. The inverter could be eliminated or replaced by a DC to DC converter if only DC loads are to be fed by the PV modules. It is also possible to directly couple a PV array to a DC load when alternative storage methods are used or when operating schedules are not of importance. So a good example may be water pumping applications where a PV module is directly coupled to a DC pump. Water is stored in a tank through the day whenever energy is available. So second component is the grid tied. So these systems are directly coupled to the electric distribution network and do not require battery storage. So the basic system configuration and the electric energy is either sold or bought from the local electric utility, depending on the local energy load patterns and the solar resource variation during the day. This operation mode requires an inverter to convert DC current to AC current. So these are many, and there are many benefits that could be obtained from using the grid-tied PV system. So instead of the traditional standalone schemes, the benefits are first, the smaller PV array can supply the same load reliably. Then next is the less balance of system components are needed. Next, the comparable emission reduction potential, taking advantage of existing infrastructure. Next is it eliminates the need for energy storage and the cost associated to the substitution and recycling batteries for individual clients. and storage can be included if desired to enhance the reliability for the client, and it takes advantage of the existing electrical infrastructure, and efficient use of available energy contributes to the required electrical grid generation, while the client's demand is low PV output. So hybrid systems may be uh, possible where battery storage or a generator can be combined with a grid connected to additional reliability and scheduling flexibility. Most of the star residential, commercial, and central scale systems are use prefabricated flat plate solar modules because they are widely available, and most available reports on PV system costs. The costs are therefore related to this kind of technology and shall be our focus in this session. So other specialized technologies are available like the concentrating PV systems, but not as commercially available as the traditional PV modules. So electricity generation with the solar cell. So the photovoltaic effect is the basic physical process through which a photovoltaic cell converts the sunlight into the electricity. So sunlight is composed of photons, uh, like energy accumulations or the particles of solar energy. These photons contain various amount of energy corresponding to the different wavelengths of the solar spectrum. So when photons hit a PV cell, they may be reflected or absorbed, and only the absorbed photons generate electricity. When this happens, the energy of the photon is transferred to an electron in an atom of the cell, usually silicon atoms. The electron is able to escape from its normal position associated in the atom to become part of the current in an electrical circuit. To produce the electric field within a PV cell, the manufacturers create a junction of two different semiconductors. The most common way of making the conduct semiconductors, uh, the silicon material is adding an element that has extra element or has a deficit of an electron. So this is the generation of the electricity in the solar cells. So next is the uh, factors of factors which affecting the PV system cost and the feasibility. So first factor is the grid connection. So and the next is the distance to nearest. So standalone system tend to become feasible. Then other the module size, module shape, space, that affect the uh, this system. So the photovoltaic energy equipment and general characteristics of the photovoltaic energy equipment. So the cost information of on individual components and labor affecting the overall cost of the grid tied PV system is uh, compiled below, and it it is discussed here with a brief description of each item. The data which is discussed here individual component represent the estimate average unit cost for an individual unit, and not considering the bulk or wholesale special prices. So some information found is discussed here. First is the photovoltaic module, PU module. So basic building block of the, it is the basic building block of the photovoltaic module is the photovoltaic cell, and this converts the solar energy into the electricity. So the power output will depend on the amount of energy incident on the surface of the cell and the operating temperature of the photovoltaic cell. Okay. So next is the inverters. Inverters are also used in this system, and it is used to transform the DC current into the AC current. So next, after the inverter, is the batteries. So the batteries are most commonly used to store the energy in standalone applications for use at times when no radiance is available. Example, in the night or in the rainy days, the batteries are also used for a diverse number of applications, including the standby power and utility interactive schemes. Okay, so this was about the batteries. Then balance of system components, like it is also known as the BOS, and charge controllers are used in this system. And after that, the okay, so this was about the PV system and the components, the different type of the PV system and what affect their cost, the structure. So hope you are satisfied with this digital session. And if you have any query or any problem, you can write in the comment box. And this session is powered by Digital Version 2, Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University, Jaipur. Thank you.